Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to be covering everything a beginner karate student needs to know in order to learn their first kata, Fukyu no kata. Stick around till the end because we're going to be doing that kata at the end of this video. Before we get moving, let's make sure there isn't anything around you that you can break and that you don't break yourself. Let's get started. Next, we're going to be doing 20 high knees. Here we go. Hands up. All right, now we're warmed up. Let's begin with how to make a fist. A lot of people don't know this. When you first start out at a martial arts school, that's one of the very first things you're going to learn is how to make a fist. So let's go over that now. Put your hands in front. We're going to close each hand like this, and we're going to lock it shut. This is the way to make a fist, and it is the only way to make a fist to hit something without hurting yourself. If you ever do get to the point where you are actually hitting things, make sure that this is nice and straight. If there's any bend up or down, all of that force from your strike is going to stay in your wrist and damage your wrist. So let's work on the first technique you're going to learn here today. Let's put one foot forward, have our arms up, close our fists nice, and here we go. We're going to learn to jab, okay? This is going to be our first strike. We're going to punch forward and pull back. I'm going to go to the side a little bit so you get a good view. Here we go. Nice. Now let's do the other hand. I'm going to face this way now. You might notice that I cut my arms up during that whole thing. That's called my guard, and I want to keep that up at all times when I'm practicing. Now, you also probably noticed that strike, jab, only use the front hand. That's because jabs only take place using the front hand. Let's get into the next technique, reverse punch. Punching using the back hand, okay? So we're gonna go into a wide stance. In your class, they probably call this horseback riding stance or something similar. We're gonna put our fists at our sides. If you wanna go lower, that's fine. I like to keep mine up here. We're gonna bring one fist out, and you'll notice that it turned. When we do the next one, they're both gonna turn. Here we go. Turn it at the last second. And we're gonna keep our nice stance, nice bent knees, okay? Here we go. That's 10. Let's do 10 more with a little bit of speed. For the advanced students, use your hip. Get a little bit of push forward on your hip. That side will punch. Watch. Then you're going to do your next side. That's how we do it. Let's get moving. And that's your reverse punch. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to strengthen up our punches. And the best way to do that is to do that one exercise you know and love from your martial arts school, push-ups. So this is how it's going to work. We're going to get on the ground and we're going to do 10 push-ups. After that, we're going to stand up, get into our wide stance, and we're going to do 20 reverse punches. Okay? Let's go. That's one down. Let's get the next one. That's 2 down. 1 left to go. Take a short rest, quick breather. If you need to pause the video at any point, take a break, go right ahead. I have no problem with it whatsoever. Let's get that last set in. Here we go. Great job. We did 30 push-ups and 60 reverse punch strikes. Nice going. The next thing you need to learn as a student before you learn any kind of pattern is you're going to have to learn how to do your front stance. So let's make sure that you have that right. So here we go. I have these nice grids on the floor. You probably don't have that. That's totally fine. I'm going to use my grid to show you, okay? I'm going to put one foot on my line, and watch this. We're going to move our foot forward. My foot is still on the line. My foot back here is the same. So I pull back. This is your front stance. Now I'm going to put this foot forward. Goes straight forward, doesn't go to the side at all, nice and straight. And we pull back. You're going to notice that when you do this step, your back foot's going to turn a little bit, either side. That's totally fine. It's supposed to happen. Now, the next thing we're going to work on is front stance. Those of you who have a karate background know this, that we do a half moon step with our feet. That's to make sure that we don't get swept. We're only going to raise our foot off the ground very slightly. So let's get going. I'm going to have my nice grid here. We're going to keep our feet along the grid, but as we move our foot, we're going to half moon step. I'll pull back. You'll notice that I'm in the same stance earlier, just a natural stance. So I'm going to go here. Here I am again. I pull straight back, and I'm in that natural stance once more. Now let's practice this by going back and forth along the mat or the carpet like you have at home. Let's get moving. Nice work. We've covered our front stance, and now let's move on to the next technique. Nice. Next, we're going to work on our jab. Earlier, we learned it from standing still. Now we're going to work on it while moving. Now, because this is karate, we're going to have open hips when we do our jabs, okay? And we're also going to be doing our half moon stepping with our feet. Let's get going. Nice work. Now that we've done our jabs, we're going to do our reverse punch using the same method. We're going to do it from front stance as we go across the floor. Here we go. Great job. You might have noticed when I turn around, I'm doing a certain move. From here, all you have to do is pull your foot across the back, and then you turn. You can do it the same way from the other side. Check this out. So from here, you move this leg, turn it, and now you're facing the other way. Make sure that when you pivot, you're pivoting on the balls of your feet, because if you do your heel, you'll hurt yourself. Next, we're going to start working on our low block. So let's get into our front stance from earlier. We're not going to be locking our hips for this. As you know, in karate, we don't lock our hips very often. So we're going to be here. We're going to have a nice 45-degree angle. We're going to draw our arms up. We're going to be pushing this one down and pulling this one back as we strike, okay? This is going to be our nice low block. We're going to move them at the same time. Here we go. Nice. Now let's work on the other side. Get your arms ready, and here we go. Nice job. Let's move on to the next technique. So the next technique we're going to work on is called back fist. It's pretty simple. All you're going to do is you're going to be striking using the back of your fist, hence the name. So let's get forward into a front stance. From here, you're going to already have your arm out. So we're going to just move our arm back a little bit and then strike. Here, pull it back, a little bit angled down, and then come back up. Let's do 5 each side. Nice. Let's switch legs. Now we're going to get it with the other side. Down, and then we're going to strike forward. Here we go. 5. That's all it is. Nice work. The next stance you're going to need to know for Fukyu no Kata is cat stance. It's a very common but very challenging stance. So let's get started. In order to do this stance, you're going to put your foot forward like you're taking a step. Lift your heel off the ground, bend this knee, and you notice your foot's going to kind of want to go to the side. So we're going to let it do that. We're going to bend, and if your knee goes past your toes, that means you're too deep. So we're just going to let ourselves sit back here with our guard up. Here we go. This is your cat stance. Now let's pull back and we'll try the other foot. If you have any pain during this, something's wrong, so then stop, okay? So now put your foot forward, like I said, like a step, lift up your heel. Your foot in the back's going to turn a little bit. That's totally fine. Make sure your knee is not going past your feet, though. So here we're going to sinking down a little bit. And here's our stance, just like this. Nice job. Now we're going to move a little bit forward and back across the floor, doing this stance, just so that we can get used to it. We're going to move forward and then backwards. Here we go. Now, let's go backwards. Forwards one more time. And one last time backwards. You might notice while I was demonstrating that, I did not do the half moon stepping. I only changed that just to show you just now. When we do it in Fukyu no Kata, we will be doing half moon stepping, but it makes it a little more challenging. That's why I didn't include it just for this demo. All right, great job. Our next skill is a technique, a block called middle block. Now we're going to be practicing it with the cat stance that we just learned. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a natural stance like this. We're going to have our hand underneath, and we're going to be coming out, across, and we're going to block just like this. So from here, that's 1. Here we go. That's our middle block. Now, you can do the same thing from the other side. You're just going to cross across and block, just like this. Let's do 5 on each side. Here we go. Nice job. Now let's do the other side. Nice job. Now we're going to work on that technique from the cat stance we learned earlier. In your kata, you're going to be moving backwards when you do this technique. So we're going to move backwards while we practice it. Okay? Here we go. We're going to get into our cat stance. Then we're going to move back a couple of times here. Here we go. Prepare the arm, step back, block. that's it. That's what we'll be performing when we do Fukyu no Kata. Let's move on to the next technique. The next thing you're going to need to know in order to do your form is middle block. So we're going to go out to in for our middle block, okay? So here we go. The way I'm going to do it is from here, I'm going to raise up and block like this. Now, we're going to work on it. We're going to do 5 on each side, okay? Here we go. Now let's work on the other side. The next thing we're going to work on is front kick. So we're going to go into a natural stance like we did earlier. We're going to start with the front leg just to get some practice in, okay? Let's lift up our leg and get a little bit of balance. Let's do a 10 count just for our balance, okay? Here we go. Nice job. Now we're going to lift up our front leg. We're going to be doing 10 kicks. We're going to be supporting ourselves using our back foot, okay? Here we go. Nice job. Now let's switch legs. We're going to lift up this leg and we're going to balance for 10 seconds. Here we go. Nice job. Now we're going to use our supporting leg. We're going to do 10 front kicks using this side. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to strengthen our kicks. The best way to do that is we're going to do some squats. Here we go. You can leave your arms out. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to do 10 squats. Then we're going to be doing 10 kicks with each foot. We're going to do it from a neutral stance. Here we go. First 10. Nice. Find yourself a natural stance. thank you so much for watching. You might have noticed during the video that the sound cut out at one point. My microphone died. So, luckily for us, we don't need sound to do martial arts. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel out, and it also lets me know that you want more videos like this one. Have a great day, and keep training.